Hello and welcome everyone, Triff here again. So today I'm starting a new series of video that will be in 3 parts, and I will try to cover everything you need to know for the Herald of Agony build from level 1 to level 100. And so today we are looking on level 1 to level 80 and when to switch to Chaos Inoculation, and I will try my best to explain everything you need to know for leveling to early mapping in this video. Let's start with the passive skill tree. So I've made a new pastbind link on my forum guide that leads to this. So you can see down on the left, you can click this arrow, and here I tried to cover every skill tree you need from level 1 to level 100. So today we are looking at 19 points to 100 points, which is basically around level 80. So let's start with the first use of Herald of Agony. So the first time you use Herald of Agony is around level 18 and your tree must look like this. So the goal is to take Spiritual Command. You can see this note says increase and reduction to minion attack speed also affect you. That means that every time you get attack speed to minion on the tree, it will also increase your attack speed, which will be very helpful to stack violence. Then we move to 39 points. So you start getting on the left side of the tree, grab some life here, some energy shield, and spiritual aid, which gives a big boost of damage for you and your minion early on. Later on, it will not matter that much for you, but you still take this because it gives ton of accuracy for your minion and for you, which is very helpful for Rain of Arrows. Let's move to the next step, which is 48 points. So it will be around the time when you do normal labyrinth and you get Profane Bloom. So it will make cursed enemies to explode and deal an amount of their life as chaos damage. It will be very helpful to clear packs. And we also get Whisper of Doom on the tree, which allows us to apply an additional curse. So whenever you get this, you will want to buy a pair of Azenat's Gentle Touch. It's a pair of gloves that allow you to apply Temporal Chain on hit, and I will cover that next in the video. So after that, we have 71 points. So this is about time when you do Cruel Labyrinth. So on the Cruel Labyrinth, we get Wicked Ward that gives us Energy Shield and also makes Energy Shield recharge not be interrupted when you take damage, so that's very helpful. And then we start going on the right side of the tree to grab some life and energy shield through those nodes. And then you start going down and get more life and more energy shield. At this point you start to be very tanky. Then we move to 85 points. So this is about the time when you do Merciless Labyrinth and you want to grab Vile Bastion. This will give you a lot of energy shield and also make you regen a tons of energy shield every time your minion kill an enemy, up to 30%. So when you get this, you will just regen tons of energy shield. You will rarely die after this, to be honest. And on the tree, we want to grab more energy shield and start going down here. And also grab Essence Surge to give us faster start of energy shield, which is very, very helpful for the build. And we will see that later also. So at this point, you will start mapping soon, and you should have about 6k effective life. So the next step is very important. I recommend you to listen carefully. So we move to 100 points. So this is about the time when we do Uber Labyrinth. So it will be around level 75 to level 80. And we've just got like a bit more life, a bit more energy shield on the tree. And yes, at this time you will want to do Uber Labyrinth. Your tree must look like this. And in the next step, it's the same amount of points, but it is after Uber Labyrinth. So this is when I switch to Chaos Inoculation. It's around level 80, maybe a bit before if you are okay with your gear. So let's take a look at this tree. So here you can see we've got Malediction, which allows us to apply an additional curse. So then we can play 3 curses, and I will cover that in the items later in the video. And you can see the tree changed quite a lot because you want to remove all the life nodes. since we went Chaos Inoculation, our maximum life becomes 1. So I removed all the life nodes to get more energy shield. So I fulled up this wheel to get more ES. I fulled up this wheel to get more ES. And I've also grabbed more ES here. Basically grab every node of ES you can at this point. So that's it for the trees for now. So this is what your tree should look like at around level 80, maybe a bit less. So you are Chaos Inoculation, you start mapping, and you should have about 6k ES. If you are at this point, it's very good for you. Let's take a look at what items you will need now for the leveling and also the gem links. So I have here a few items I use for leveling. So the most important obviously will be to get a Quill Rain. So I played with 4 link until like level 80. So whenever you can, get a Quill Rain about level 30 or even before if you can. And get 4 link with Herald of Agony, minion damage, minion speed and damage on full life. So 1 green, 2 blues and 1 red. Then I highly recommend you to get High-Risk Bite Quiver. It gives you life gain on hit. It will give you a lot of life with Rain of Arrows. It also gives strength and dexterity, which is much needed early on, and attack speed and more life on hit. And then whenever you can, get a pair of Azenat's Gentle Touch. So it gives you free temporal chain on hit, and it doesn't have to be linked with Rain of Arrows because it's on any hit. So whenever you get this, do normal labyrinth and get a profane bloom and you will make everything explode, and it will start to be very smooth. So every other items are pretty much just rare items you pick up on the ground. So try to get life, energy shield and fill up your resistances. That's pretty much anything you want. And if you want, you can also grab a Baited Breath belt. I didn't use it because I just didn't have the money early on. But if you have, you can grab it. It's a ton of energy shield, so it's very nice for the build. Then let's talk a bit about the gem links you will want early on. So we covered Herald of Agony, and early on you will want your Rain of Arrows linked with Projectile Weakness and Curse on Hit. So Curse on Hit you only get at level 38, and absolutely you need Poisoned, which you can get at level 31, and before that we use Lesser Poison. If you got a Quill Rain, Lesser Poison will be more than enough. Then you also want Convocation to recall the Crawler. You also want a Chaos Golem or any other Golem, the one you prefer, it doesn't really matter. And Discipline to give us more energy shield. And then Blink Arrow for our skill movement, which you can link to faster attack if you want. But if you have a Quill Rain, you don't really need it, I guess. So that's pretty much everything you need for leveling. You can play with this until level 70 or even 80 until you switch to Chaos Inoculation. And nextly in the video we will see what you need for early mapping. And also about the bandits, before I forget, you want to kill all the bandits to get more skill points. Let's move on now to early mapping. So this will be for around level 68 until level 80. So at this point you still play life and energy shield, you are not Chaos Inoculation yet. So you still grab every item that gives you life and ES. And for early mapping you want still the Quill Rain, the Azenat's Touch. We will keep those for a long time. You can keep the High-Risk Bite for now, and whenever you can, try to upgrade your Quill Rain to 5 links so you will gain a bit more DPS. So at this point you should have about 6k effective life, maybe a bit more even, depending on your gear. And we will see next when to switch to Chaos Inoculation and what you need to do. So whenever you are level 75 or more and you've done all the trials, you will need to do Uber Labyrinth. After you've done Uber Labyrinth, you can then switch to Chaos Inoculation and get some ES gear, so you won't need life anymore, only energy shield. So get as much as you can. I highly recommend you to get Disc Quiver Soul Strike, which gives you a lot of ES, attack speed, dexterity, which is much needed, and most importantly, 80% faster start of ES, which is very nice for Occultist. You will then still play with Quill Rain for a long time and keep the Azenat's Touch also for a long time. It will allow you to play 3 curses very early on. And then I found out about this chest, this league. It is usually a chest that no one uses. It's only 1 chaos, not even maybe 1 alchemy. And it gives lesser poison on socketed support gems. It's an evasion energy shield base, and it has about 280 energy shield and gives you 20% all elemental resistance. So this is very strong. I use this until like level 80 to 85. I used it for a long time, and you have an easy time to socket the gems because since it's an evasion energy shield base, it's easy to get green sockets and blue sockets. So you don't need poison anymore at this point because you have lesser poison socketed on gems. So you want to use Rain of Arrows, Projectile Weakness, Curse on Hit, and Enfeeble. This way you can play 3 curses with only 4 link. So that's it for today, and like I said, whenever you can, try to upgrade your Quill Rain to 5 link. And if you get a 5 link, add Vicious Projectile to it. Every other items are the maximum amount of energy shield you can find, and fill up your resistances. So in the next video, I will try to cover level 80 to 90 plus, and what to upgrade next on the build to give more damage and even more ES. So I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope it was useful, and if you want to know anything more you can find me on Twitch, and I see you guys in the next video.